Hello and welcome to this quick setup tutorial for your brand new Kigo solution. I just received my credentials via email to log into the system for the first time. Let's go for it. First thing I'm asked to do is to accept the terms of use. I agree on it and submit. Once this is done, you will be forced to introduce your old password and create a new one that will be easier to remember. By default, I will land on my profile page. The profile page will display my username. I will be able to add a gravatar, to edit my display name, to add a phone number, to select my time zone, and to select a profile language. In this case, I will just select English. The row by default is General Manager. So by clicking on Save, I go on. This video will help you to go easily through our setup section we find over here. By clicking on it, you will be transferred directly to the setup wizard. Step 1 out of 5. First, we select our language. We have it on English. We select the time zone and our currency on US dollars. By clicking on Next, we go forward to the second step. In step 2, we can verify our company information. Enter an informal name, a formal name. We can add an office address. We can click on More if we have several office addresses. And you can add a logo by easily clicking on Browse, select it and click on it. Once this is done, we click on Next. In step 3, you will be able to add a company email address and the respective password to link your emails with your Kigo solution. Once that's done, you click on Next to go on with the fourth step. The fourth step will allow you to create different users by just entering the name, the respective email address and the according role for it. Once that's done, we click on Next. The last step gives you the possibility to choose if you want to use sample property data and booking data as an example, or if you want to start from scratch. Once this is decided, just click on Submit to end the setup wizard. You will receive the message that your solution is now activated. Click on here to continue. Let me show you briefly the information you can edit under your account information. First of all, you have the option My Services, where you will find all the services you have currently contracted with Kigo. Furthermore, you can click on Additional Services, where you have the possibility to choose from a list of third-party services. I would recommend you to look into this list once in a while, as we will be adding more third-party services to it. If you have any questions about any of those, you can always check out the details or the terms and conditions. Furthermore, I recommend you to contact with your Client Success Manager for more information. Under the option Payment Methods, you will be able to update your credit card whenever you need to. Under Billing History, you will find the bills between you and Kigo. You will also be able to download them on your computer. The last option within this navigation are the support cases, where you will find all the support cases that you submitted and the state of those. Once you have checked the account information, let's move on with Solution by clicking here. First, click on Solution Setup, where you will be able to go over your general information again. You will also be able to change your logo and add offices in case of having offices in different locations. Please make sure to add a notification email to not lose any emails. Furthermore, you will be able to add a summary to your solution that can also be added within HTML like all the other descriptions within the Kigo system. Last but not least, you will be able to add contacts, primary contacts, a technical contact or a billing contact. From here, you can click on Create New User, where you will be able to create new users and send emails to them directly to give them access to the system. Once this is done, we save the information and we go on with the second point, Users. The first user we'll find here is the user we have been assigned to. Let me show you something interesting now. From here, the New tab, you can add a new user. As before, you can add the email address, the display name and select a role. What's different here, you can actually select a custom role. So from here you can actually set up permissions for this user, so you can just add specific areas of the system. force him to change the password when he first logs in, and save it. Now he will automatically receive a welcome email. From the menu Tags, you will be able to add new tags to specify your searches. If you click on an already existing tag, you can choose whether it applies to leads, to properties, or to developments only. Once selected, you click on Save. Let's move on with our document templates. The document templates are a very useful feature within Kigo. They can be sent out manually or automatically depending on different triggers. You can either create a new one by clicking here on New, or just modify the existing ones. You click on it, you go down and you just edit the text within it. They are fully HTML ready. They also work with variables to be able to have the information from the leads directly within the template. Please have a look at the link that appears below for a whole list of the whole variables. Once the document templates are set up, we move on to triggers. From here you can decide which document template is sent out for what occasion. For example, the booking inquiry applies to website visitors who started the booking process but did not complete the booking. First of all, I can set up a responder that is going to be sent out to the guest automatically. Second of all, I can set up a notification that is sent to myself to the email address I previously set up. Third of all, I have the notification to the owner. I can just choose one of my document templates that is going to be sent out automatically to the owner. The Connected Services menu will show you the services you are connected to, like for example your email provider or any channel manager you will connect to. The email log will show you the outgoing emails from your system. This feature is extremely helpful if you have a look at the different symbols you will find below. You can check when an email has been sent out correctly and if an email has been opened from your leads. The File Manager will show you any data you uploaded to the system. The first point on the website are the attractions. In Paris, for example, it could be the Eiffel Tower, or in NYC it's the Statue of Liberty. Those are created to show as a search results page on your website and show approximate properties to them. Make it easy for your guests to find specific properties on your website by using the property finders. Here you can easily set up new property finders, like for example a swimming pool. I introduce swimming pool, click on criteria. It applies to all my apartments. I click on amenity, and from here, from the whole amenity list, I just need to click on swimming pool and save this one. The website that comes included with your Kigo solution is very SEO friendly, as you can see here from this menu. You will be able to add any SEO attributes from here. If you have any questions about this, I encourage you to contact your account manager or client success manager for any questions. Reviews nowadays are very important, and therefore we also included them to our solution. You will be able to manage them easily from the menu Reviews, add new ones and check new reviews received from your customers. We are almost done with our setup section. Now it's a turn for the properties. There are two possibilities to introduce rates for the properties. One of them are the seasons. By clicking here on Seasons, we click on New. We add a winter season, for example. It's a low season in our case, as active, and the winter, let's say, from today to the end of March. By clicking on Save, it will be added to my list. I will create a new one. Let's call it Summer. The type is High Season, and it starts, well, let's say on the 1st of April. And ends at the end of August. And by clicking on Save, it's added to my list. Please note, the seasons are created from the setup menu. To introduce the actual rates, you will have to go to the app and introduce the rates under properties. We will see more information about that in a separate video. The developments will give you the possibility to add developments and thus regroup different properties within a certain neighborhood. Almost done with our quick setup tutorial. Under Booking Engine, we click on Booking Rules and click on New, where it gets interesting. First of all, we'll have to decide if we want to add a rule for minimum stay, for a term date or an online charge, which will give us a lot of flexibility. So we first click on minimum stay, and I will just call it minimum stay 3. It's an active one. I can decide if I want to apply it to all properties or if I want to apply it to only specific properties. In this case, it's going to be for all properties. The minimum stay is 3 days. The rule begins from the 1st of February and ends at the end of March. Again, I can add a public description for my customers on my website, add some notes for myself, and I click on Save. As easy as that, we already created our first booking rule. This booking rule can be added, as we saw already before, for the property seasons directly in the app. Taxes nowadays are very important, so let's just create a new one by clicking here on New. We first add the name, random tax, the type, it's a lodging tax. This time I will not apply it to all the properties, I will just apply it to specific ones. I can choose if I want to add it as a percentage or flat rate. I will add it as a flat rate. The number of nights I will just leave it as blank this time. And then I can add additional options. Include the fees when calculating the tax. It can be per night, for example. Yes, that's interesting for me. I can add description and internal notes again. Then I click on Save. Once the tax is saved, you can click here on Apply to multiple properties. And then you can choose from your property list. Now the list is blank because I haven't created any properties yet, because my system is new. But once you've created your properties, you will have like a multiple choice menu here where you will be able to click between the different properties and then save your information. Fees work exactly as the taxes. By clicking on New, I have a drop-down menu where I can choose the kind of fee I want to add. So I will just add a booking fee. I will just add here random fee. It applies to all the properties. I'm flexible, so I change it here. The amount, well, this time it's going to be percentage. It's just for days between the 1st of February and May 31st. Minimum 1 night, a maximum of 5 nights. And then I can choose, do I want it to be a mandatory fee? Do I want it to be an optional checkbox or an optional text box? Well, I want the money, so I want it to be a mandatory fee. The calculation can be either by night, by person, per adult, etc. Calculate on statement total, log fee in dates of check-ins. So I have many additional options I can add here. And then I just click on Save, and it's going to be added to my list automatically. I guess you are already getting used to the system, as it looks very similarly and is pretty easy to use. Here under specials, again, you just need to click here on New and select the kind of special discount you want to add, like for example the fixed discount. You just add the name of the discount here, if it is active or not, if it is applicable to all the properties or just specific ones, is the coupon code, an expiration date, 28th for example, and it's active from tomorrow on, and a cutoff date, March 18th for example. The amount will be 20 euros. It's showing up on my website, yes. And I click on Save. And so it has already been saved and it appears to my list here. Just for the record, you can at any time just select any of your items, click on Set Status, and before deleting them you can also putting them as inactive. So they will just appear here, they will not appear anymore in the list. But you can at any time use the filters to find them again. The booking settings are the last point you're going to see within this video, so make sure they are like the way you want them to be. So you will be able to set up random information, like for example booking restrictions, your payment method settings. You can decide which credit cards you accept, the rate display settings, the rate calculation rules, the third-party owners, the rental policy. You can add them here. And one hint I wanted to show you, you will always see here the data entered in English. So basically this will show you in what language you need to enter the data. Here in the menu you will have the language menu, where you can switch between the different languages you are currently editing. Okay, so if you switch to Spanish, for example, then you will see here data has to be entered in Spanish. This is basically useful once you have the setup. You have the setup done for your website, so you can basically edit the content in different languages for your website. When we scroll further down, we have the booking disclaimer. The calendar default settings over here. I can just click within the different squares and just edit the information like that. And the rate setup. So how do you want your rates to be set up? Like we have it already done as a default, like 1 night, 7, 30 and then 1 year. You can also add more ranges over here, and don't forget to enable them, otherwise they won't show up within your application. And of course, don't forget to save the information. So that was it. Your system is up and running. Don't forget that you can contact our support at any time by just clicking on the headphone symbol and sending us a ticket, or going through our support documentation. I also recommend you to check out our new video regarding the daily use of our application. You will find the link below. That's it for me. See you next time. Thank you for watching.